while we loading into the SQL package. Okay, so basically in this the lab we will learn how we can use for the SCD, what is the SCD, then what are the different type of SCD, and how we can use the SCD for the validating the MySQL data. Okay, so basically in this lab we will use data flow task, then ODBC source, then we will also use for the execute SQL task, then the most important slowly changing dimension, data conversion, transformation, then row count, OLDB command, then OLDB destination. So without further delay, let's start the session. So before the moving forward, what is the SCD and why it is used? So basically, if you check, so basically SCD is a slowly changing dimension. So we call it as the SCD, and it is the most probably used in a warehouse management system where we perform the extract, transport, and load the data. So basically in a SSIS we will use the SCD for the whenever we loading the data. That time we will check the basically the validating the data. So a slowly changing dimension is a data management technique that handle the changes of the data in a dimension table or over the time. So basically when we load the data, so that time the if any kind of changes happen in the data, that time we will check the whatever the changes in that data, and accordingly we will either we can insert the data or we can load the data or we can update the data. Okay, and if any kind of data will update happen, then we will also maintain the history. Okay, so basically if you check, there are different type of the SCD. So type 0, then type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. Okay, so this is a different type of SCD. So type 0 basically fixed dimension, so it having the no changes, so it will be same as it is. So in a type 1 we will override the changes. Okay, that means we will update the changes. And type 2 basically it will be adding the extra one row if any kind of update happen. Okay, type 3, in a type 3 basically we will add the one more attribute, and type 4 history of the table. So type 1 override the changes. In a type 2 we will add the history. So in our package we will use the SCD type 0 and type 1. So now we will move for the practical session. So first of all I will open my Visual Studio. So in that Visual Studio I will take a new project, create a new project. So integration service project, then click on next. So here I will name as the project validate data using SCD. So I have given name as the validate data using SCD. So same name for the solution. Then I will click on create. So basically in this project what we will do, so we will take the data from MySQL database. So this is my MySQL workbench. In this workbench I will take the data from this MySQL workbench, and after that I will load this data into the SQL server. Okay, so this is my SQL server. In that basically I have the order table. So this is my order table. So in this order table, whatever the data we will load from the MySQL, we will append this data in this table. Okay, so the initially what I will do. So for the taking the data from MySQL database, so for that I will first of all drag and drop data flow task. So for the data, I will use load and validate MySQL data. I will double click on it. So now I will go for the data flow. So as you know, so basically our source is a MySQL. So we will use for that ODBC source. So I will drag and drop ODBC source. So for this I will rename it load data from MySQL. So I will rename it. Then I will click on it. Go to the edit. So now we have the ODBC connection. So I will click on new. So this is my the ODBC connection. In my previous video, I have already explained how we can create ODBC connection using the ODBC driver. So I have already created the MySQL connection. So I will directly use this MySQL connection. I will directly click on OK. Then the table name. So basically, we will use for the SQL command, and from the SQL command, so we will directly load the data from MySQL database. So before that, I have already created one script. So for the lab number 11, so that script already I attached the link in the description box. So you can open that the script. So I will open the script. So first of all, this is a script. Basically, that script useful for the MySQL database. So in MySQL database, we will create a new table, and after that, creating the table, we will insert the data into that table. Okay. So I have already done. I have already created the table, and I also inserted the value for that table. So this is the value. So whenever you go for the loading the data, before that you need to download this lab number 11 script, and you can first of all you can connect with your MySQL database, and then you need to run those script. Okay, so this is a script. So first of all you need to create a table. So you can just copy this one, and you can go to the new and create a table. After the creating the table, you need to insert the data, insert the value into that table. So using this insert command. Okay, this is the second. And third one, insert a new row. So basically this is for the validation after the SCD. So we need to validate the data. That time you can use this script number 3 and script number 4. Okay. So I have already created the table and inserted the value into this table. So I will show you. So this is my table. If I run this table, so you can check the my table value. So basically the order ID 15 to order ID 68. So this data I have already inserted into the MySQL database. So first of all you need to insert this data, and then we need to load the data. Okay, so I will copy this query, and using my SSMS I will paste the query, and I will click on preview. So whatever the data in my MySQL workbench, so same data I will take from this MySQL database. Okay, so now data is fine. Then go to the column. So in a column you can also check the whatever the columns, then you can click on OK. So now my the ODBC source is a configuration done. Now, once the data will loaded, so we need to validate this data, okay, equal database, okay. So now, but what happen if suppose, for example, this is a MySQL database, and this is a live data, okay. So whatever the order it will be generating from this application, it will be inserted into the this table. So as of now, there is the order number 68. So if suppose we run the package and we already load the 68 number of order into the MySQL server database. Okay. So then, if suppose again, if my package will executed, then it will be make sure that key whatever the order already loaded. For example, this is the order already loaded. So make sure that this order not load again. Okay. So this is the first thing. Second thing is that, for example, this is the order, and if suppose user updated or client updated some like a region code. So for example, 68 number order, and initially it was a region code is a R4, and later it will be updated as a R1. Then the same changes will be happen into the my package level whenever the data load from the SSIS package into the MySQL server database. Okay. So this is the thing. Due to that, we will use a slowly changing dimension. Okay. So as I told you, so slowly changing dimension basically whenever we perform the ETL operation, or whenever we work on the warehouse. So that time this concept it will be used. So slowly changing dimension means it will be either the type 0. So basically ignore the any kind of changes. Type 1 basically override the changes. So here, so basically if suppose any changes happen in my source, then same changes will be updated into my destination. So this is the reason we will use a SCD. And second is a type 2. So basically same thing it will be happen, but it will be additionally created the historical record. So this is the difference between the type 1 and type 2. And in a type 0, basically it will be ignore any kind of changes, and audit log changes. Basically it will not capture any kind of things. So as per the requirement, basically the requirement is clear that key whenever the data, whatever the data it will be loaded, make sure that the data not present into the destination. And if the data is already present, then we need to update the data, whatever the update from that row, or that for that order. So same changes will be happen into my destination. So this is the reason we will use for the slowly changing dimension for this case. Okay. So how we can use the slowly changing dimension, that I explain you. So basically in a SSIS toolbox, so it's a common if you need to find the slowly changing dimension. Okay. So this is a slowly changing dimension. So I will initially connect these two component. So after that I will click on it, click on edit. So once you click on edit button, so now this is a slowly changing dimension wizard. This window will open. So in that you need to click on next. So after that, first of all you need to connection manager. So we click on next, click on new, and here you can find. So we have the already created the connection manager is a SSIS. So basically this connection manager I will use. So I will click on OK. Then here we need to select the table. So which table we need to map the data, or in which tool, which database we need to insert those whatever the record we loaded from the MySQL database, and whatever the data we load to the which table. So we need to select the table. So as of now we have selected order table. So because of we are loading the data from this order table from the MySQL workbench, and we will insert the data into the MySQL server. So in a MySQL server database, this is a SSIS database. Into that, the table is the order table. So same table that I executed. Okay. So the data will be inserted into the this table. Okay. So as of now, there are 44 records in that table. So order, if you count the order is the 44. So now whatever the data, the new data, that data will be append after this 44 record. Okay. So now here I need to select the table or view. After that, if you check the sum column from the input. So input means this is MySQL database, MySQL database. So for the GST, it will be not showing. If you click on the GST, so you can check cannot map the column of the different type. So column of the GST is the type of the system dot single, and the column of GST is the type of the double. So basically this is the uh, data type mismatch. So for that what we will do, so we will close this thing. So basically due to the data type mismatch, this error will occur. So what we will do, we will delete this arrow, and directly we will go to the data conversion. So we will use the data conversion transformation for the in this for this case. Okay, so what happened in a data conversion, the whenever you use a convert the one data type into the another data type, so that the reason we will use the data conversion. So this is a data conversion, and in this data conversion, so I will connect this data, this source to the data conversion, and then I will click on the edit. So I will select the all the column, because of the all the column, whatever the column we required, so we need to select. So invoice ID, then if you check order ID, order date, region code, order ID, order date, I think it's fine, region code is a fine, location code is fine, product ID, product name, SCM, quantity, rate, price, GST, then total amount. So I have selected whatever the required column that need to the convert from the one data type to the another data type. So I have selected, then I will click on the data type. So basically the data type, if you check, so data type is a float data type. So we need to convert into the double uh, floating point. So this is a double precision float. So this is the for the destination is the same data type. So we will change the source as well. So I will also select, I will select and double precision float. So this is for this also double precision float. For this also double precision float. For this also double precision float. And for the price as well, because of this is the float data, and we need to convert into the double precision. Okay, then total amount also we need to double precision float. Okay, so once the changes will done, so for the product ID and product name, it is already in a unicode string dt underscore wstr. So we not need for this. So as of now I will just remove from it, remove from it, then I will click on OK. Now I will connect this data conversion to the slowly changing dimension. So now I have connected, then I will double click on it, go to the next. Then here I need to select the table name. So table name is the order. So now I will change the input column. So for the GST, what we will do, so we will select the copy of the GST. Okay, copy of the, okay, so I think GST we have not selected. Okay, I will close this. I will go to the data conversion. So okay, so GST we have not selected. Total amount, GST, price, quantity, SCN code, product name, product ID, location code, region code, order date, order ID, invoice ID. Okay, so now only the GST pending. So I will select the double precision float. I will click on OK. Now I will come again to the slowly changing dimension. Here I will select the order table, and now I will for the input column I will select the copy of the GST because of that is a we have converted the column data type. Okay, then I will select the SCM code. Okay, it is a fine. Then I will select the invoice number. Then location code is a fine because of it will be matched as per the requirement. Then order date also match order ID. So I will select the copy of the order ID. Then below the price, so I will select the copy of the price. Product ID already matched, so we no need to select this one. Then product ID, then product name, it will also fine. Then the quantity, copy of the quantity. Then the rate, copy of the rate, and then last one is the total amount. So now the mapping, we have done the mapping. So now you can check at least one business key needed to be selected. So what is the business key? So basically business key, basically if you check the data in this table, if you check, so all the data, basically the unique key, basically that key basically we need to uniquely identify. So basically if you check in this the table, the data you can check. So ID is the uniquely identified, but because of the ID is the auto increment, so we will not use this auto increment value for this process because of every time the this value will change, and this value basically ID is a for the this is auto increment for this database, but this is a different auto increment for the MySQL server. So if you check for the ID is the different, and there is the ID is the different. So we need to find out the business key. Business key means whatever the common factor between the these two database. So if you check invoice ID also repeated. Okay, so 1111. So we will not take this invoice ID as a business key. So then you can check the order ID. So order ID is a unique. Whatever the order ID, so it is uniquely identified in this table. So that's the reason we will use as a order ID as a business key because of this is the uniquely identified in a this database, MySQL database, and also in a MS server database also order ID is the unique. You can check all the record are the uniquely identified. So we will relate these two database using the order ID, and this is the order ID as you know as a business key. So for that the reason we will come here and we will find the order ID. So copy of the order ID. This is the order ID from the destination, and we will make it as a business key. Once we click on the business key, then the whatever the error or whatever the issue, it will be disappear. So now we will click on the next. So now here is a thing that we will decide the whatever the SCD. So SCD type 1, type 2. Okay. So if you check in that, basically there are two columns: destination column, sorry, dimension column, and the change type. Okay. So basically whenever we will use these things, so that time we need to. So the dimension table, basically the dimension table. So for example, the GST or basically the changes for that the required. So for example, if the changes done in a GST, it will be fixed attribute or it will be changing attribute. So we need to define either. If suppose we will select the fixed attribute, then it will be come around the category type 0. because of, for example, for example, if the my data from the source, so this is my GST. So if the GST amount will be changed into the my source database, so can this GST amount also change into the destination? So if it is required yes, then we need to select the type 2, or if it is not required to change anything, then it will be type 0. Okay. So for example, I will again explain you. So for example, this is a GST. Okay, so this GST will change in a source system, then it will be also change into the destination. So we will select the changing attribute. So if I selected changing attribute, then it will be become a that the SCD type of the one. Override the changes. Whatever the changes will happen in my source, the same changes will be happen into my destination. So for example, GST amount will select GST amount will be changed for the order ID 58. So then it will be also same, it will be updated into the my destination also. Okay. So this is the changing attribute. Then we will need to select whatever the changing attribute. HCN number also, this it will be changed. Then it will not require to the uh, change in the destination. So because of the SCN number is a common for all, or it will be related to product. So it will be not required to the change. Okay. Then invoice number. So invoice number also it is a fixed. So it will be also not need to change. But the location code, it will be changing attribute. So I will select as a changing attribute. So I will show you the table. So in this table, invoice ID, invoice number is a fix. Order ID, it is a fix. Order date also the fix. Then but region code, location code, product ID, then product name, SCN code. So up to this. So basically whatever the changes happen in this column. So location code, product ID. So same changes will be happen into the destination. So I will select it as a type 1. But for the SCN, it will be remain to the same. Okay. Then quantity, rate, price, GST, and total amount. Basically, if I change the quantity, suppose for example, for the order ID 58, the quantity is the 30, but if I selected as the 40, then the basically the other changes also for the rate, price, GST, and total amount, it will also change. So the same thing, same happen in for the my destination as well. So I will select accordingly whatever the changes required and what is the fixed value. So for the price, it will also change to the destination. Then for the product ID, it will be basically fixed attribute. Then product name also fixed attribute. Then next one is the quantity. Quantity also it will be changed in my destination. So I will select it as a changing attribute. A region code. So for the rate, a rate also change in my destination. So I will select as the change attribute. So the then region code. So region code also it will be changed in my destination, and the total amount. So total amount also it will be changed into my destination. So this is a as of now I have used only the type 0 and type 1. So this is my type 1. Ignore the changes in my source, and type 1, if the changes happen in my source, you can override the changes into my destination. And for the type 3, so as of now we will not require for the type 3, but I will explain you what is the type 3. So for example, if suppose the changes attribute, for example, the changes happen in my invoice. For example, the if we take the quantity. Okay. So initially, if you check, it is a changing attribute. But if I selected for the historical attribute, what happen? Historical attribute, it will be create one historical record. So for example, initially whatever the quantity, so for the order number 34, the quantity is 100, but it was changed. Sorry, for the order number 58, it is the quantity is the 30. So it will be keep the same record, as well as it will be create one historical record. It will be either we can create a start date, end date, or it will be creating the new record. Okay, so this is the thing which will be happen in a type 3. So as of now we will not require for the type 3, so we will ignore those case and we will click on the next. So fixed attribute, for the what happen if the fixed attribute so fail to the transformation if the changes are detected in a fixed attribute. So we will untick this, because of if suppose the same data which will be we will uh, load, then we will ignore those cases. Okay, but whatever the changes data, so for example for the order ID 68, initially we will load this data, but after that some changes happen in this order number 68. Then what happen? So we will also uh, done the changes. So we will basically that time we will ignore those cases and we will continue for the destination. So changing attribute. So I will select changes all the matches record, including the outdated record when the changes are detected in my changing attribute. So this is a thing that we need to select. Then click on next. So enable imperative member support. So all column with the changes are the null. So it will be same as it is. I will click on next. So now it will be slowly changing dimension transformation, new record output, update, changing attribute, update. Then this is basically summary for that. So basically there are three the category. Once the we apply the slowly changing dimension, then it will be creating the three branches like new record, then update, and other output. So other output, that means you fix attribute changes output. So once I click on the finish, if you check, so there are three output will be created. Okay, so basically if you check insert record, and this is the two records. Okay, this is the two automatically created. So uh, basically component, it will be useful for the whenever new record, new output will come, then it will be directly insert into the my destination. But if suppose the same record will be there for the update value, so if I show you the things, so you can check the update record, so it will be for the update. So whatever the update, whatever the we given the changes like type 1, so that all appear into the this component. Whatever the changes happen in my source, the same changes happen in my destination. Okay, and where we will set the business key, like where the order id equal to whatever the order id. Okay, so I will click on ok, click on ok. And then this is also for the update statement. So if you check, so this is for the update where the like a location code, price, quantity, then a rate, then the region code, total amount, and where the order id equal to, where the order id equal to whatever the order id. Then click on ok, click on ok. So now my configuration done. So now what I will do, I will run the package for the checking whether the it will be working fine or not. So for that, initially what I will do, I will save the package. And if I show you, the initially record was 44. And if I show you the, if I run the package, so what happened when I run the package, so I will run the package. I will start for the package execution. It will be start for the build the application, build the SSIS package, then it will be start for the loading the data. So so now you can check, it will be load the data from the MySQL source, then the 19 row will be loaded. So if you check in my destination source also, there are total 19 row in my destination. So all the data will loaded. In a second data conversion, basically it will be convert the data from one data type to the second data type. Okay, then after that it will go to the slowly changing dimension. In a slowly changing dimension, if you check new output, so basically whatever the data, it will be unique data. it will not previously loaded or whatever the data, it will be unique data. So it will be directly inserted data into the destination. Okay, so all the data initially directly inserted into the my destination. So now the next thing what happened, so now if you check the my infrared manager update output, it will be also not done anything, and for the changing attribute also it will be not done anything. So if I stop the package, the previously it was the 44 records, and if I execute the execute the table, now it will be 63 records, means 19 record will be inserted into the my destination. And if you check, so from this you can check the order ID 50 to 68. So all the data will be loaded, and now what I will do, so I will whatever the given the script to, I will what I will do, I will add the one new record. So this is the script. If I suppose, for example, I will insert this record into the my source. I will copy this one and I will come here. Then I will taking the new query, and here I will insert the new record into the my source. So order ID. So as of now 68, I will order ID 69. So 68, I will create a new order into the my destination. Okay, so I will just execute this query. Okay, so now if I show you the data from this table, so the previously it was the total 19 record. Now the 20 record will be 20th record will be added. So 20 record is a, this is a 69 order ID, and this is a new record. If suppose, so if I record will be inserted, only those record will be imported from the source to the destination. So now I will re-execute the package. So I will start for the execution. So now what happened, so we will check. So only one record will be loaded this time. Whatever the existing record, that will be not loaded. So you can check, so only the new output one row will be loaded. So that's the reason it will be not loaded the duplicate data. Only the whatever the new record is new record in the source table, it will be loaded only the new record only. Okay, so this is the first thing. For the new record it will be inserted, and now I will show you the only the one record will be inserted. So previously the my total row is a 63. Now it will be become a 64 because of only one record will be inserted from the source. This is a 69 number record. So this is the first thing. Then next one I have already given the second query, update query. So what I will do, I will copy this query and I will update the some existing record. Okay, so I will go to the update statement and fetch the update statement. So the recently we have loaded the 69 number order. Okay, so for example, some changes happen in this order ID. Okay, so some changes happen in this order ID. So for example, we will change the rate, quantity, and these things. Okay, and also region code, location code. So basically this is a live system. So if suppose user updated or client updated some the detail like region code. So initially it was the region code, region is the R4, but after the some the changes, it will be a region code updated as a R1. So that time what happens, so basically, So for example, order ID. So order ID is the 69 number order ID, and initially the location code is a L4. So now we will update as a L1. Then quantity is a 40. So you can check, the quantity is a 30. So we will update into the 40. Okay. Then the price is a 40,000. Total price is a 45,000. Okay. Then the order ID is a 69. Okay. So now in that case, whatever the changes happen in my source, the same changes will be reflected into my destination. So I will update the record. Okay. So now a record will updated. If I show you, you can check. So order number 69. So we have updated the location code to the L1. Sorry. Yeah, right. So the we have updated location code is a location code is L1. Quantity is a 40. Quantity is a 40. Rate same as it is, but price it will be updated to the 40,000. Then the total amount is the 45,400. Okay, 44. So now the same changes which will be happen whenever I load the package again. Okay, so if I run the package, if I run the package, now whatever the changes happen, so same changes it will be updated. So you can check the new output 0 row. So it will be loaded 40 row, whatever the record available. So all the record will loaded, but only the changes happen for the only one record, because of it will be updated some the column detail. Okay, so only one record will be updated. So if I show you the table, so initially it is a R4, and location code is a L5. Okay, and the total amount is as of now 35,400. But if I run this table, then you can go to the 69 order ID. The location code changed to the L4 to the L1, and the quantity also changed 30 to 40, and the price also changed from the 30 to 40,000, and the total amount also changed from the 40,000 to 45,000. So only these changes will be updated. So this is the reason we will use the slowly changing dimension. So whenever the new record will come, then it will be insert. Whenever the changes happen in the existing the data, it will be only update or overwrite the data in a destination. Okay, so whatever the business requirement, we will completed the business requirement. Now we will move to the next one. So the once the data will be loaded, so now then what we will do, so we need to capture the log, whatever the whenever the package will run. So that time how many record will inserted. So for that we will create a log. So before the creating log, we need to one variable. So I will create a one new variable, and I will give the name for that variable MySQL record count. Okay, so I have created one variable MySQL record count. Data type is integer, value initially 0. I will save and I will close. Then now we will also use one execute SQL task. I will drag and drop, and I will rename it audit audit log for MySQL, audit log for the MySQL database. So I will connect it, and also I need the number of count, right? So whenever only the for the new record. Okay, So what I will do, I will I will use the one more transformation like row count transformation. Okay, so I will use the row count transformation for the counting how many new record will be inserted. Okay, so I will drag and drop, and for the output I will do the new output. Okay, and input the same input and click on OK. Now I will configure this one. So variable, I have already created one variable, MySQL record count. So I will select this variable, and then I will connect this row count transformation to the insert destination. The component. Okay, this is the OLDB destination. So now this is the done. Then I will go to the control flow, and I will configure for the execute SQL task. I will go to the edit, and here I need to select the connection. So this is the connection. Then I will use the expression. So in the expression I will insert the record. Okay, so in a property I will select SQL statement source, and I will click on three dot. Then here I need to write one expression. Okay, so for the expression, so basically whenever the new record will be inserted, so we are capturing the data into the audit log. So for the audit log, so this is the different type of, like for example, the package will run from the Excel file. So we will maintaining the Excel file. This is the Excel file name, then how many record in that Excel file, then the whenever the package will when the record will be inserted, this is the dated. So like that we will need to insert create a insert statement. So basically for that I have already created. So this is the insert statement for the insert into the audit log, and then values. So instead of the values we will use a select. Then I will delete this one. So this is my insert statement. Whenever the new record will be inserted, that time we will capture the log. Okay, so first of all package. So this is the first of all is the package name, which package this one. Then the second is the file loaded. So in this case we will directly put the whatever the table name. Then the record insert, how many record will inserted, so it is a numeric, and the get date when the record will be inserted, this is the date and time. Okay, so I will copy this one insert statement, and I will go to the my SSIS package. For the writing the expression, so we need to, like, first of all single quote, then we need to paste this insert query. Once the this one, then after that also we need to add a double quote. Okay, so in between we need to write a SQL command. Okay, SQL syntax. So insert into table name, then select. So basically we will select the values. So first is the package. So what I will do for the package, I will again use the double quote, plus then double quote, and in between the two plus sign we will use a variable. So in a system variable already we have the package name. It's a system variable, it will be capturing the whatever the current package. Okay, so I will directly drag and drop this package name here. Then the next one is the table name. Okay, so for the table name as of now, what we will do, so we will directly put the uh, hard coded table name like order table. Okay, so this is my table name. Then after that, the how many record will be inserted. So for that, what we will do, so we will use a single quote, double quote plus plus enter single quote double quote single quote. Okay, and now in that, so we have the already created one variable, and this variable is counting the how many number of record inserted. So I will directly drag and drop this to the this. Okay, and now I will, so basically this is the integer type variable. So we need to convert into the string data type. So for that we will use a typecast. So for the typecast we can check the dt underscore wstr, and after that length. So I will drag and drop this one, and after the plus sign I will paste here. So I will define the length. Okay, so I will define the length as a 20. Okay, so now the get date. So basically now I will click on the evaluate expression. So now my expression is fine. Insert into the audit log, select package, then after that the order, then 0, and then get date. So package is my package name, so I will show you where we can check the package name. So then click on ok, click on ok, click on ok. So you can check this is my package. So package and dot dtxsx. So if we change this package, we need to change from here. Okay, we need to change here, like validate data using SCD. So now my package name also changed. So now my audit log also created. So now the now is the time for the checking the data. Okay, so now what I will do, so I will go to the MySQL database, and I have inserted one new record. Okay, so 69 out of that 70, the order number 70, the order detail will be same, only the my order ID is different. So I will change the order ID, then other thing remains same. So I will insert this one new record. If I run the order table, you can check. So the my total data is the 69 and 17. So this is a new record inserted into this table. So if I run the package, so now then this is a new record, then the my count is the 1 for the whenever we run the package. So now I will start the execution of the package. It will be validating the data. So it will be load the 21 row, but it will be inserted only one record. Okay, so one record, one row, and inserted into the one row. Okay, so now I will stop, and if I show you the audit log, as of now only the 7 record in the audit log, and if I run the audit log, you can check. So the 7 after that 8 validate data using the SCD. This is my package name. The table name is the order, and the number of record inserted is the 1. So and this is the current date and time. So whenever the new record inserted, that time it will be inserting the data. Okay, so so this is the lab number 11. So I hope you will understood the lab number 11. So I will also give you the expression audit log expression. So this is the expression that we need to paste. So the fifth. So based on this equation, you can also change whatever the requirement. Okay. So thank you for the watching this video, and if you have any query, any question, you can mention in the comment box. So thank you, and wish you happy learning.